Young Rune doesn't have the attribute of laziness. The attribute of laziness has him when he wakes up at 2 p.m. His first walk is not going to the bathroom to brush his teeth. No, he is going straight to his PC. He turns on the machine, and while he's waiting, he turns on TikTok and goes to the toilet. And when he comes back, he starts the game. League of Legends. What are you doing, young Rune? He's even watching TikTok on the loading screen. Tell me, young Rune, when was the last time you left the house?
Oh, must have been, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Last Friday. I went to buy chips and sweets for a nice anime marathon.
Hi, my name is 𝗺𝘂𝘀𝗶𝘰. On this channel I talk about self-improvement, philosophy and life in general. You know, I used to be really lazy. Today I want to talk about discipline. Specifically how you can build discipline and what discipline actually is and all that. So let me first clear up, because I feel like many people get this wrong. You have to make a cut between discipline and motivation, because it's not the same thing. Motivation is when you feel like doing something. So when I'm motivated to go to the gym, I feel like going to the gym and I want to go to the gym. That's also good. It's also gonna bring you closer to a goal. But discipline is built when you don't feel like doing it, but you still go and do it. And that's a really big difference. Really big difference there. Because sometimes it's you don't feel like going to the gym when you don't have discipline, then you may not go, even though you should, because you feel like, yeah, I don't feel like going to the gym. And for me, sometimes it's even like, I don't feel like going to the gym, and I feel like if I would go now, that would be the wrong thing. But the weird thing about it is that you think that's not gonna be good if I'm going to the gym right now because I don't feel like it. The weird thing about it is, when I go to the gym, even though when I feel terrible, like sometimes, you know, maybe that's also just placebo, but sometimes, you know, you feel bad, you know, you have headaches or stomach pain, and you don't want to go, but then you still go sometimes and you feel like, oh god, this is gonna be horrible. But when you actually train, you feel better afterwards. It's an amazing feeling when you've done something like going to the gym, even though you didn't feel like it. This is because our brains often choose the path of least resistance. This is due to some evolutionary shit, but yeah. While this can make decision making quick and easy, it can also deceive us into avoiding new challenges and opportunities. By recognizing this tendency, we can consciously push ourselves to explore and grow. Now let's talk about how to build discipline. And the most important thing when you want to build discipline is that you have goals. I don't know if this is a controversial opinion, but I feel like having ambitious goals is even better. Discipline is also motivating yourself to do something that you don't want to do. So it's not just you go to the gym even though you don't feel like it, but you also have to motivate yourself to go for it, you know? Let me give you an example. I don't know if you play football, but in football you always have this, like we called it high ball, but I don't know if you called it that. It's basically you juggle with your feet, you juggle the ball, and that's a thing that you do in football just to train or touch your technique. It's coordination and all that. Yeah, let's say your goal is to become better at that because you suck at that practice, and your goal is you wanna juggle the ball like 100 touches or something. That would be your goal, and then you make a plan how you want to reach that, and then you say, yeah, I want to train this every day for 30 minutes and I want to improve from my current record is like 10 or whatever, improve that to 100, and my sub goal is in this first week while I'm doing it, I want to improve from 10 to 30. And every time you don't want to do, then you remind yourself of your bigger goal, which is the 100. And you know, I want to improve my coordination, I want to have this nice technique or whatever. could also train a trick. There's so many different things. You can also apply the same thing to bench press or something. But then eventually, maybe not in the first week, but maybe in the third, you will eventually face failure. And when you face failure, when you don't reach your goal for the week, for example, you gotta know how to treat failure. And the correct way to treat failure is to learn from it. And how do you do that? Well, you analyze why something failed or why something went this way and how that might have affected it. And then you analyze what were the reasons why it turned out this way and what can I do next time to get to a different outcome. And so let's get to the juggling with the football example again. So let's say we're in week 3 or something, and our goal for this week was to achieve 60, but we could only do 55. And the training at all was good, right? We trained every day our 30 minutes. And then when it came to the test on the last day, we couldn't do it. And then we analyzed, why could I not do it today? My goal that I set myself. And then I analyzed, okay, maybe my stamina wasn't enough. I lost my concentration in the last few touches. On the last few touches, I lost my stamina. And so what I can learn from this is that my stamina wasn't enough. So I gotta improve my stamina. And now I can make a plan. What am I gonna do? And then I get to maybe run 2 times a week or whatever. It's an example. But that is how you treat failure and how you can learn from it. Always remind yourself of your bigger goal. And when you reach milestones, so if you do reach a milestone, one thing that you can also do is reward yourself. Now, here I want to add something quickly. If you want to reward yourself, and I would advise you to reward yourself every time, reward yourself by making this following thing, which is called bullet journaling, where you write down a checkbox, or where you have a list and then you write down checkboxes, and every time you have completed something, a goal, like I meditated today, then you can check that off, and that will be an external motivation for your dopamine. By the way, if you want to know more about bullet journaling and about journaling in general, I have a video on that. You can watch that after this video. Now, let me recapitulate some of the important points of this video. You need goals, ambitious goals. In order to build discipline, you need to go on the days where you don't feel motivated. You learn from failure and you reward yourself on milestones. Alright, I hope you have taken something from this video. Watch my video about meditation. That will also, if you apply that, help you become more disciplined. Like this video, tell me your experience with discipline in the comments, or what you think of discipline. Subscribe to the channel, and as I always say, remember guys, keep moving forward.